Hello everyone and welcome to Barefoot Minis. Thought I would share with you a recent project. It's a shipping container, a small wooden shipping container that we are using for a horse travel box. We used to use our Honda Element with a pet guard to transport our miniature horses, and we transported quite many. We would flip the seats up to protect the windows, and it was a fantastic horse transportation van. But we have a truck to use that we can tow, and then we have some anchor points here so we can put it on top of a flatbed trailer with sides and anchor it down really good. And my husband reinforced it a little bit to make it extra strong for the journey. And then there's the anchor points are held in with bolts, with nuts and bolts and washers. But there's going to be a cross tie point here and a place also to hang a hay bag, and then there's going to be ventilation on top so that it'll be comfortable for the journey. It's plenty tall enough for a very small A-Mini, but for a large A-Mini, he will need pole protection. You got to protect their noggin because a horse can flip up and bump their head and it can kill them. So I'll take a walk around to show you that it's just a basic shipping container, but we didn't have $6,000 to spend on a trailer, and it is very well constructed and very sturdy. So I'll let you know how it goes after the time. The topic of miniature horse transportation, just because we're fitting out this shipping container to be a miniature horse transportation box, has come up, and we've done a variety of different methods over the past 28 years. We first would transport them under a cap in the bed of pickup trucks. We did that several times, but that was when with yearlings, with little ones, we would do that. We've used minivans to transport, a Honda Element. That one was probably my favorite because it was fitted out with a pet cage in the front. After one experience where we took a Mini from over 10 hours away without the cage in the front, and she just wanted to sit on our laps and snuggle. And so it was kind of a wrestle to keep her in the back. But my most favorite way to transport was a cargo van we had. It was a utility van. It was a Ford Econoline van. Not that the van itself was that great, but the way it was fitted out with a rubber mat on the bottom and a cage in the front to protect the passenger and driver was the most excellent. I could move several minis at a time safely, and it was just ideal for transporting. And this one's just going to be anchored down on a flatbed trailer. It'll have ventilation, it'll have cross ties, it has supports, and it'll have a door in the back, and it should work for what we're using it for. We did not have $6,000 to spend on a trailer, or even a couple thousand, so you make do with what you have. Well, I hope this was informative. I tell you one last thing about horse transportation, and that would be what bedding to use. First, I'm going to lay down a tarp, and then I'm going to use a look at Scotty, you gonna jump up there? Oh, I see you jump up there. Whoa, go get it. A tarp, and then a rubber mat. The end of the rubber mat that has good traction. And then on top of the rubber mat, I'm going to use pelleted bedding. Pine pellets, they're excellent. It's my favorite bedding. The only thing that I would use for like foaling would be pine pellets below a layer of hay. And I have found that this is the very best bedding. It is good to get rid of bad odors. It's very absorbent, and it lasts a long time. It lasts a lot longer than loose shavings, or longer than sawdust. It lasts longer than baled shavings. It lasts longer than shavings. So After 28 years, pine pellets are the absolute best. And then for fulling, a base layer of pine pellets with a top layer of hay. And then for transporting in this box, I'm gonna give the horse a little bit of valerian just to calm him for the journey. But I have transported horses before without. It just is nice to take the edge off. And it doesn't last in their system that long, but it takes the edge off. Look at these cuties. They are so adorable. There's mother and daughter right there. Vanessa and Dove. Just absolutely adorable. And then we got Jamie here. Jamie, you're so cute, Jamie. And then who else do we have here? Amelie. Nai-Nai, where are you? Nai-Nai. Can make sure Nai-Nai's okay. Hi guys, where's Niobe? Oh, Niobe is by the ducky coop. Nai-Nai's still here, she's okay. Niobe, are you okay? There she is, she's hiding. She's such a cutie. Alright, back to the box. Look at Scotty. You're way over there, Scotty. Scotty's on top of the box. The sun was blinding me, but I was just going to tell you guys, pine pelleted bedding. The similar looking stuff that is used in wood stoves, but it isn't because they use hardwoods for those to last. Pine pelleted bedding is the absolute best. I've used shavings, I've used sawdust, I've used straw, I've used hay as bedding. The very best bedding and the longest lasting, so you're not throwing your money away, is the pine pellets. 2 of those will fill a stall for a long time. 1 will be good enough for travel. It makes an excellent base layer, a very clean and excellent base layer for when you're waiting for a foal. So you put down that pine pellets, and then you put down a layer of hay. The mare needs a layer of grass hay. She can eat that grass hay to make good milk, and just as long as she would like. It just is wonderful stuff. And then of course we got Scotty to entertain us. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Barefoot Minis, and this is the progression on the horse travel box. My husband did most of the work, almost all of the work. Usually I help him, but he did most of it all on his own this time, and he did such a great job. So this is these are held on with double snaps. And it sounds like the neighbors are having a cattle auction. That's interesting. So here's the inside. I don't know if you can see. Let's adjust. It's going to have, it has cross tie rings, hitch rings right here, all bolted in. And then in 4 corners it has ventilation. And so he'll have light and ventilation. And then we have a rubber mat. In the front of the rubber mat, I'm going to put a hay bale, and behind him I'm going to put a hay bale. And then due to these braces, he could rear up and clunk his head. So I'm going to put one of my knee cushions on his pole to protect his pole. And then I'll give you a walk around. We're going to put it on a trailer, and we're going to tie it down really securely. The trailer will have sides too for extra protection. So here are the vents that will not allow rain to come in, but will allow light in. The top will be screwed on securely. And then there's also anchor points to secure it down to the trailer. So it should be fairly safe. I'll show you what it looks like with him in it. There's the miniature horse box on the trailer. For the journey, I'm protecting Guy's pole with these no-cry knee pads for construction. Hey, you got to get creative to keep your horses safe, because if they rear up and bump their poles, they can just instantly die. Guy's in the trailer, and he's doing what horses do. He's pooping. You're okay, buddy. Well, there and back again. It was a great adventure, and it worked wonderfully. And now we can, I'll tell you a few things that I would do to change it, though, or to improve it. First of all, loading and unloading it onto a trailer. This thing is heavy. So I would try to figure out some way to make it easier to load and unload. I mean, if we had a pallet jack or something, it'd be great, or a forklift. What else? I would add 2 more vents, 1 on each side, so there would be 6 vents total. And let me open it for you to tell you what I would do differently on the inside. Okay, it's all cleaned out. The cross tie rings worked wonderfully. What I would do, I'd probably wrap these braces instead of using a pole protection on the horse, on the Mini. I would wrap these braces in rubber foam so that extra protection in case they rear up and bump their heads. But he was fine. I would put a wireless camera in the corner so I could see what they were up to, and I could also speak to them. And we're gonna have to fix this a little bit, because this could have been really bad right here, where he knocked one of these braces off. These braces are holding the pallet on below, and the pallet helps you move it. This could have been really bad, so we need to add some braces to the bottom. And then at Lowe's, when I got the rug, and I just flipped the rug over and used the rubber end, it wasn't quite long enough, so he pooped at the end right here. He soiled it a little bit. So I would get another rug. I think the rug's around $69 or something. Flip it over so he's on the rubber, and it's large enough to go up against all sides, so there was no way for him to poop onto the actual floor. So that's how I would improve it. But I think God was good and gave us this opportunity to fix this up and make it work. And my husband used all his handyman skills and did a wonderful job. And then when we were done, I just I took the leaf blower and cleaned it out with the leaf blower, so it's ready for the next trip. Is it the most ideal thing? No, a trailer would have been a lot easier to just hook it up to the truck and go. That would have been much easier, but it was a really, really great idea, and it was something we could do on the fly, get it taken care of and fit it out in 2 weeks. And what's best is Guylian has the dream home that anybody could ever want. And, you know, I prayed that not only would he get an amazing home, but the perfect home for him. And that's what you want. You want your horse to have the perfect home for them. A perfect fit. And it absolutely is. And so I'm really thankful and blessed. To God be the glory for everything. So this was great. Really worked out great. Very well built, very sturdy, very affordable. An option if you don't have a trailer on hand. But definitely we strapped it down really well, and the cross ties were necessary. He loaded like a dream, but once he got in there and figured he was stuck, he had a little bit of a claustrophobia flip out. But who can blame him? But he did amazing, and the bumper kind of came off his head, so that was a concern, but he seemed all right. And they're having a great time with him today, so just so very thankful. Thanks for watching. Jesus loves you.